Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is Rainier Josef and I am back again with another video. So for today's video, I am going to talk about all the learnings that I have learned in our subject ELT 222 or Language Programs and Policies in Multilingual Society. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, let's start on the foundation of this subject, which is language. We need to study language because it is our primary tool in communication. We need to have the knowledge on this so that we can use our language correctly. Now, let's talk about language and society. I learned that language is societal because we cannot talk about society or the society would not work without the language and vice versa. I also learned about the factors that we need to consider that may affect the language use. These factors are the following: age and grading, economic status continuum, social status, authority continuum, religious structure, professional continuum, and power hierarchy. So those are the factors that we need to consider that may affect the language use. Now, let's talk about the relationship between the language and society. First is the structure and linguist behavior. According to Jaspers, Ostman and versus Turin 2010 and Wardhoe 2006, the social structure may either influence or determine the linguist structure. I learned in this that society controls the language, and we must know how, when, and where to say it and its purpose, and we must be aware on the cultural background before starting in communication because it may lead to miscommunication because different culture may have different meaning on the others. Now let's go to the second possible relationship as best evidence for language and society. I learned here that the linguistic structure may either influence or determine the social structure. In the linguistic relativity and society linguistic behavior and social structure, I learned that it is the language that controls the society. So next is the bidirectional relationship in language and society. According to Dittmar 1976, the speech behavior and social behavior are in the state of constant interaction and material living conditions are an important factor in relationship. So it shows here that the influence is bidirectional. I learned here that the language may influence the society and society may influence the language. So in this theory, the two factors contributes and influences each other. I also learned the reasons why a certain language dies, and the reasons stated in our discussions are small number of speakers, negative attitude and stigmatization, war and conflicts, natural disaster, massive borrowing from dominant languages, political influence, and coercive or voluntary assimilation. So these are the reasons why a certain language dies. So that wraps up my learnings on our subject, ELT 222. Those learnings that I focuses is on the learnings that I got on the topic of the relationship between the language and the society. So again, I am Rainier Josef Junsay, and see you on my next video.